Greetings, and once again, welcome to this particular session. It's an honor to have you all who are joined on this particular call for the maiden edition of the Career Success Summit. This particular summit is designed to help professionals to advance their career and make changes where necessary in order to continue to build a successful career. The P4PE Summit, powered by P4PE Institute, is made up of 3 different summits. They are transformative events that bring together thought leaders, industry experts, and professionals to engage in meaningful discussions and collaborative problem solving. These summits focus on advancing excellence in various fields, ranging from business strategy to HR transformation and organizational development. Our summit serves as an exclusive platform for exchanging innovative ideas, exploring emerging challenges that are facing organizations today, and also professionals. With a strong emphasis on professional growth, collaboration, and empowerment, P4PE Institute provides participants with valuable insights, networking opportunities, and tools to drive success within their respective fields. It is on this note that we run these 3 summits annually. The first summit is on AI Mastery Summit that helps you to take advantage of the new world of AI. The second one is on data analytics that helps professionals who are either pivoting to a career in data analytics or those who are already in that field to make themselves better. And then the third summit, which is the one we're having today, is on career success. And it focuses on educating and equipping you to be able to advance your career and build yourself in this particular area. So the Career Success Summit we are running today is themed Career Launchpad, setting a strong foundation for a successful career journey. Discussions throughout the day will center around the Agile professional, personal branding, career goal setting, effective networking, and on time management. The agenda as planned today, this session is planned to run for 4 hours, between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. There will be breaks in between each of the sessions. At the end of my introduction, we'll hand over to the first speaker who will take us through the Agile professional, adapting, continuous learning, and embracing change. After that particular session, we will engage in a Q&A with the speaker and also progress to the second session that is on career goal setting, defining and achieving career objectives. Because one thing we've discovered is that some people are not sure, or they go with the spirit, they go with the flow, and they don't have clarity about where they are going to. That session will help you to set career goals and also pursue those goals effectively. Our third session today will focus on effective networking, why it is important to use the power of networking as a way to build meaningful relationships that can help you to advance your career. I tell you the truth, any job you want today is in the hand of another person to make it happen. But the problem is that you don't know the person. Your next promotion today is in the hands of a few persons in your organization, but perhaps you're not very close to those individuals in the organization. So that session will help you to understand how to network effectively and advance. Then there will be also a discussion on career transitions and pivots, where we'll see if it is not working for you here in this particular career, can you change? How do you change? We'll be discussing how you can reinvent yourself and you can make changes in your career. You can change organization, you can change career, you can change jobs, as the case may be. They are all examples of transitions that you go through at that time. Then we'll wrap up again at the session at the end by 2 p.m. So please keep an open mind, right, throughout this particular session, and ensure you manage your systems very well. Feel free to share thoughts on the chat box throughout this particular session, but defer questions to the end of the session. If you have a question, you can put it on the chat box, but the speakers will not be able to respond to your questions until we get to the end of this particular session. Then successfully, we'll be able to engage and discuss some of the thoughts that you raise at that point in time. Our speaker run-up include veterans in the industry who have done exceedingly well in being able to drive growth, drive success, and ensure we're able to deliver the kind of results we want to deliver in this particular area. We'll have our first speaker as Mr. Peter Adisa, who's from Prixol Edu Solutions Limited, and he will be engaging us extensively on why it is important for us to pay attention to the fundamentals of building our career. Then we'll have Mr. Shinomati, who is going to take us through a deep conversation on career advancement. He is from Business in Tandem Limited. Joel Omike, yours truly. I am the host of this particular session. I am the founder and CEO of P4PE Institute. My task will be to ensure you have fun, to ensure you learn, and to support our speakers throughout this particular session, as the case is. We also have Mr. Frederick Okeogu, who is from HRM office. He also will be sharing very interesting thoughts with us throughout this particular session. We will close our session today with Mr. Patrick Umor Adiason. He is from Rumulus Group and will also be engaging us on the value and how we can drive success in those particular areas. Before we jump into our session today to discuss the Agile Professional by Mr. Peter Adisa, let me just take the time to introduce our organization. Our organization is P4PE Institute. We are a consulting firm based here in Lagos with operations across West Africa and other regions, as the case is. We've been in operation in the past 14 years, and I've had the opportunity and privilege to work in about 7 different industries. These industries help us to continue to advance and provide value for various organizations. Our core focus is on helping organizations to build their capacity to deliver results and increase the chance of success for those businesses. We focus on business growth, helping organizations to grow, either from an operational point of view or a business development point of view. From a business development point of view, we help organizations to find the right customers, to keep the right customers, to attract their customers, to win those particular customers and continue to retain those customers. We also focus on organizational development, in which we help organizations to redesign and restructure their system, helping them to go through various phases of organizational development, whether it is performance management, KPI development, AI, introducing AI into the organization. So we support organizations to help them to restructure and deliver value in those areas. And then we're also involved in HR transformation. For HR transformation, we support the HR department to fix people issues within the organization, to transform the HR department, and to help them to recruit and hire various individuals that will help them drive growth within the organization. And then finally, we are involved in data analytics and AI. Within the space of data analytics and AI, we help organizations to set up their AI function, their data analytics function, and build their team members by means of training in leadership, in management, in HR, in customer service, and also in data analytics, so that they can be strong and viable to deliver on the results that is expected of them. So that's what we've done in the past period of time. And we're here to support you and also help you to advance as much as possible. Turning our attention back to our session today on the Career Success Summits, I will implore you to once again check that your audios are muted, and then make sure that you can contribute and share on this particular program. So please use the chat box and say hello in the chat box. Let's see and confirm that you can use the chat box, that the chat box is working for you. Please type hello in the chat box. Let me see. Use the chat box. Let's see. And also send an emoji on the screen. Thank you, Paul. Thank you very much. You can send an emoji on the screen, maybe hi-fi or something like that, to ensure that you are able to share your feelings, your experience as the speakers engage with you. Just look for that icon for reaction and click on one of the emojis and let it display on your screen. Or you can raise your hand and drop your hand as alternative ways to do it. Beautiful. Thank you very much. All right, that's good. So you can get involved in this particular session. It's easy for you to engage in this session. So let's turn our attention to the very first topic. Our first topic is on the Agile professional, to be handled by Mr. Peter Adisa. Mr. Peter Adisa comes with a deep level of experience in development and helping organizations and individuals to grow. He's a coach and has helped various individuals to also advance in what they do. Once he gets involved and starts discussing, he's going to share more of what he has done, and then he's going to take us through this particular conversation. At this juncture, I'd like to hand over to Mr. Peter Adisa. Mr. Adisa, thank you very much for your time. It's an honor to have you at this session. You can take the podium now.
Wow, wow, wow. Good morning, HR Godfather, once again.
Thank you, Peter.
It's an honor to be here. I'm excited. It's a bright morning here in Lagos. And I believe that it's a bright morning to everyone listening to me. I'm excited once again to be here. And let me start on a note of appreciation to say a word of thanks to Mr. Joel for this opportunity. I'm not taking it for granted. I'm happy to be part of this great work you're doing. And 14 years, they are not joke, actually. You know, you have been involved in helping individuals, organization, and you are still standing relevant. So I'm clapping for you, sir. Well done. Well done.
Thank
And I
you.
also want to thank Jane for the great work she did, following up, sending mails, just to ensure that this program is what we are seeing now, and also all the other team members who are working behind the scene. Thank you very much. Your work is actually showing in what we are seeing, and I want to encourage you to continue. All right, that being said, the topic to speak on is the Agile professional, adaptability, continuous learning, and embracing change. For me, it's like 3 topics in one, but I will see how I can speak to the topic and give the value that I've prepared to give us this morning within the space of time. But before I delve in, I will just say a bit about me, just like Mr. Joel has said. My name is Peter Adisa, and I'm a career coach. I once worked as a recruitment manager, and I've worked as an HR person too. I've been a training and human development person, and I just love anything that has to do with individual and organizational growth, career development, and I like to ensure that people get to give the best of themselves. So I'm excited to be here this morning, and I hope that we get value in this session. By way of introduction, I would like to let us know that when we look at the Agile professional, it has to do with individuals, organizations, and the whole career landscape in general. And you will agree with me that the era we are currently is defined by rapidly technological advancement. You will see a lot of shifts in market demands. You see disruptions here and there, and you see a lot of things changing. In fact, COVID-19 gave us that shift that nobody anticipated. Of course, some people were ready for that, and you will see that in their output, and It's also important for us as individuals and organizations to be ready, because agility is no longer an option, it is essential, right? So organizations don't just recognize, or they don't just reward the fact that you are in an organization, whether how long you have been there, but they want to reward your impact, your resilience, and how you can adapt to change, because you will always experience change every time and in every season. So today I'll be sharing some key insights with us, and I believe that we as professionals, we will learn together, we will share, and we also take some key takeaways from this session. All right. And the starting point for me as an individual who is also promoting being agile professional is the mindset. That's the starting point for me, because the mindset will determine whether you will accept change, you will embrace learning, or you will adapt. So that's the first place I want to start this morning, that we have to be open, we have to be recipient, we have to be expectant, we have to be adaptable as individuals. So it's critical for us as individuals who want to thrive, who want to be the best, who want to be one of the outliers in our profession, to have this mindset that we are ready for change. And I love what someone says. It says that change is not an enemy, stagnation is. And that's one thing I want you to take note in this session, that change is not an enemy. It is stagnation that's an enemy. Now, let me quickly go to what is adaptability. I'm not going to give us like definition of these terms, but I'm going to put us in the frame that we get to understand a description of what it means for you to be an adaptable individual. Because the whole essence of this discussion and this conversation is around how you can be agile, how you can be ready to change, how you can be open to change. And adaptability for me is the ability to shift your mindsets, right? It's the ability for you to embrace new challenges. It's the ability for you to remain effective in this ever evolving world and environment that we are. You will agree with me that each and every day we are always confronted with one challenge or the other, whether on a personal level or a professional level. And if you have to think in retrospect and you ask yourself, how were you able to survive? How were you able, like, think about it? How were you able to survive all the things that you have experienced as an individual? Like, you just have to think about it, that in all of these things that has happened to you, whether in your growth, in your career as an individual, how were you able to survive? And it's just because you are adaptable. That's a simple way to put it. So adaptability is your capacity as an individual to pivot, right, and to thrive. Any individual that wants to thrive in this time and age, you have to be ready to adapt. I remember one of my experiences in one organization that I worked. I was there as a recruitment manager, and I discovered that, we discovered that COVID-19 was coming. And my boss came to the office one day, and we were just discussing during our Monday meetings. And she was like, well, let us try to test run it before it becomes a reality. So we started our work from home in January, and COVID-19 and everything came, I think, February and March. But we started just to test run it. We'd do like 2 days at home, hybrid, we'll come to the office. And we saw that we're actually achieving whatever we're doing in the office. I was recruiting online, I was interviewing online, I was having meetings with clients online, and I was sending candidates to clients' office online. And that was it for us. And the good news that I have to share that from that time till now, the organization I work with has not resumed to physical office. Even after COVID-19, we just adapted. And that is what we do till now. So it's just to show you that we have to be open to be adapted to new things that come to us. So let me share with you why adaptability matters. The first thing is that if you look around, industries are transforming as a professional. The work and the job and the career landscape is evolving daily. Things are changing. Transformation is happening. Companies are restructuring. And if you look at it too, automation is redefining roles. I remember I was in an AI conference and somebody was asking whether AI is coming to take the job of professionals and the likes. And the summary of everything was that no, but we have to be ready to ensure that we are up to speed. We are ready for this inclusion. We are ready to ensure that even in our processes, in our systems, in our organizations, we are ensuring that we are enabling our workflow and processes with artificial intelligence, because it makes us work faster to deliver results per time and to even achieve massive results. So as individuals, as professionals, we have to be ready to embrace change and be adaptable. That's the essence, right? So the a simple formula I can give because of this conversation is adaptability plus learning plus change will give you career success. I'll take that again. Adaptability plus learning plus change will give you career success. And let me just give us some practical steps that can help us to embrace adaptability. The first thing for you as an individual, as a professional, be open to feedback and constructive criticism is very critical. In fact, I remember one of the experiences I had in an organization that I worked was we embrace feedback. We ask questions. Sometimes we call it the good, the bad, the ugly. And it's just for us to get feedback. What am I doing well? Which area am I lagging? What do I need to do better? What should I stop doing? So as an individual, you have to be open to feedback and constructive criticism. You have to cultivate emotional intelligence to manage transition smoothly. Because just like Mr. Joel said the other time, that if a career, you feel that you are not getting the fulfillment or the satisfaction or the joy, you can transit to another organization. But for that transition to be smooth, you have to ensure that you manage your emotions. You are emotionally intelligent. You don't feel bad about it, and you understand how to relate with people, right? So that you don't just take all those feedbacks, all those change as a problem or somebody confronting you, right? Then it's also important for us to develop problem-solving skills to navigate uncertainty with confidence. That's important. In fact, employers, organizations, they're not just paying you for your certificates, right? They're paying you for the problems you are solving each day, whether at the long or short term. So it's super important for you as an individual who wants to embrace adaptability to be open to solve problems when things change. Don't just fix your mind. Ensure that you provide solutions, you move with the change, and you ensure that you have a solution. Problems in the organization, you look at it from the lens of solution, and you provide solutions, right? So you need to ask yourself whether you are resisting or you are evolving. That's the question I just want you to ask yourself. Am I resisting or evolving? Super important question to ask yourself. Then the next thing I want to talk about, because like I told you that it's like 3 in 1 that I have to put together. I've talked about adaptability, and I want to look at continuous learning now. And there is a research that was conducted by World Economic Forum, and one of the quotes that I found interesting about it was that the half-life of skills is now 5 years. Let me say that again. The half-life of skills is now 5 years. So when you think that you have achieved something, you have learned a skill, you have gotten a certification, you have additional qualification, what is just telling you that give it 5 years, you will see that if you don't improve yourself, if you don't look for opportunities to get better, if you don't ensure that you are adding more to that knowledge, that skill will be stale and may not be relevant. That's what it's saying. It is therefore, as professional, we need to ensure that we are growing in our learning, continuous learning, looking for opportunity to give better, looking for opportunity to add value. And this is a secret to sustain growth. In any organization that you find yourself, just take a look at people who are thriving in an industry. You will always see that these people are conscious of their growth and learning, right? So what that means for you as an individual and for me as an individual, for professionals that we are, is that we have to ensure that we are continuously learning and growing, right? And this has to be a deliberate action. We have to, I call it hunting. You permit me? Hunting in my own description means you are intentionally looking for an opportunity to add value to yourself, right? You are hunting for things you can learn to get better, things you can learn to do better, skills you can add to yourself. What are the trainings I can attend and things like that, right? So the knowledge and skills that brought you here today may not be enough to take you where you need to go tomorrow. Let me say that again. The knowledge and skills that brought you here today may not be enough to take you where you need to go tomorrow. If you agree with this statement, please, I want you to type yes. What I just said, I want you to type yes if you agree with it, that the knowledge and skills that brought you here today may not be enough to take you where you need to go tomorrow. I'm checking. All right, I can see somebody giving a thumb up. Thank you very much. If you agree with me, I want you to type yes. Then if you can also give an emotion, I'll be excited to have you whichever way. I just need us to respond. Yes, thank you very much, Paul. Thank you very much, Benjamin. Thank you. Because if you look at it from a wider perspective, if you are only how do I put it now? If you are only leveraging on the knowledge and skill that you have acquired in the past, you just see that with time will take over them. And before you know it, you just discover that you are using old textbook or old ideas to solve problems now, and which may not be relevant. So as professionals, as agile professionals, we have to be ensured that we are growing in our knowledge base. That's the essence, right? And one of the things, just like I said earlier, that will help us as agile professionals to embrace continuous learning is to shift our mind from fixed to growth learning mindset. We have to shift our mind from fixed to growth learning mindset. And we have to ensure that as professionals, we don't fall into the trap of knowing enough. We don't fall into the trap. If you are an individual and you are in that trap, I don't know whether I should say that you should get delivered today, right? Because we must not be in that cave. We must not be in that trap that we feel, no, I've known enough, I've attained enough. But we have to continuously seek opportunity to grow, right? And one of the opportunities you also have to grow and learn is your experience. The experience you gain at work will open your heart and your mind to see ways of doing things better, right? So we have to ensure that it is in our DNA as agile professional to seek opportunity to learn, right? Because most successful individuals never stop learning. That's the truth. If you look at it from individuals who are thriving, who are one of the 1% in their industry, who are the top and the top leaders in their industry, you see that they don't stop learning. So how do you leverage continuous learning for your career growth as an individual? I would say that you have to invest in ongoing professional development, right? And I know that there is no professional association or organization that will not give room for each practitioners or professional to be growing. Of course, we have certifications, you have workshops, you have seminars, you have training, and one of these is what P4PE is giving to us now to learn, to grow, to gain expertise, to develop capacity, right? So you have to invest in it. Some of them are free, some are paid. What is more important is for you to ensure that whether it's free or paid, you give yourself to these to invest in ongoing professional development. It could be online courses, it could be a physical meeting, it could be workshop, right? Then we have to also ensure that we engage in cross-functional learning to broaden your skill. One of the things that we also have to do as individuals is, if you look at the work landscape now, there are so many things that are coming into the work that we do. And if you say maybe you are into you are a storekeeper, for example, and you don't want to learn about AI, you don't want to learn about data analysis, you don't want to learn about other things that will help you, just see that over time your organization will just bring somebody that has better capacity and can deliver results to take over that role, right? So we have to engage in cross-functional. Open your mind. What are they doing in the finance and accounting? Learn about bookkeeping, credits, debits. You just need to. You don't just say, "I don't like numbers." Everybody needs to like numbers. Data is everything now. If you want to do a presentation, for example, if you graph and information that will communicate what you have in mind better. Every employer, every team lead, every manager will love that kind of presentation. So as an agile professional, we have to be ready. Learn technology, learn artificial intelligence, learn as much as you can to become an agile professional. And that is what continuous learning will do for you, right? I will also say that another way to leverage continuous learning is to read widely. If you have physical book, fantastic. If you don't have, you can have audio book, or you have the e-copy. Just ensure that you are investing in what you are doing by reading widely. Read books across different areas, right? Read books across politics, across economics, tech, business, entrepreneurship, governance. Read widely, right? Listen to podcasts, follow industry trends, and you can involve in mentorship, right? I know that mentorship will provide you a platform to ride on the mentor's shoulder, the experience, the expertise, and all of the things that the mentors can give you. You know, we position you as someone or as an individual that will thrive in your organization. Of course, just imagine having a one-on-one meeting, right, with a mentor, maybe once a week or twice a month. You will see that the depth of the knowledge that you will gain from that experience, money cannot buy it. And sometimes, even when you have degrees, that depth of knowledge may not be in the same level with all those certifications, right? So you also be open to networking. I know that someone will also talk more about that in other sessions, right? So it's important for you as an individual to commit to lifelong learning, because it helps you to position yourself as a valuable asset in your organization. You can join a community of professionals. I know there are so many community of professionals that you can join, and you can also have a mastermind group or an accountability partner. Let me quickly go to the last part of this conversation, which is embracing change. Don't forget that I said that the topic I am giving to speak to is the agile professional, adaptability, continuous learning, and embracing change. I've talked about adaptability, continuous learning, and the last one I want to touch on before I allow us to contribute and ask questions is embracing change. Of course, if you look at it, even you yourself, including myself, this is not how I was in the past 10 years, the past 15 years. One of the analyses I like to give is that if people if you yourself, you see that you are not growing, you begin to ask yourself questions that what's wrong with me, all right? And the same with organizations, to when they see that you are not changing, when they have meetings, they begin to raise questions about their observation or, about whether your inputs, meeting KPI, deliverables, and all of those things. So the essence of this is that change is the only constant in life and business, and you have to be ready to use it to your advantage. Be ready for change, be willing to change, be open to change. Don't join those people who fear change. One of the key things in an organization is change management, and some people, when they hear about change, whether in structure, in system, in process, you see they begin to feel agitated. The good news for us here that we are here is because we are agile professionals, so we are getting ready for change, whether at individual level or at professional level. And I want to encourage you that as a professional that is agile, we see change as an opportunity. An opportunity for what? To grow, an opportunity to thrive, an opportunity to get better, an opportunity to deliver greater results, right? And the reality that is upon us here and now is that look at every workplace, look at organizations, look at industries, you will see that change is everywhere. Whether in the health, in the education, in the business, industry, just look at it, you will see change. Everybody is looking for what other thing can we do to improve our processes, to improve our deliveries, to attract more clients, and to deliver better results. And that will cause such organizations to change, to tweak, to come up with a new framework, to re-strategize, right? So we as individuals, we have to ensure that we embrace change as an opportunity. And let me say that rather than seeing change as a threat, view change as a chance to innovate, as a chance to develop new skills and to redefine your career trajectory. If you see that something is not working, right, you have to ensure that you tweak it. I remember one of the things that my mentors told me when we were having a discussion is that don't be too emotional about a product or service. If you need to change it, be quick to change, right? And that thing really sink into me. I held it because I believe that if I see something that, oh, because I am so emotional about it, I love this idea, I love this, but it's not working. It's not working. Then why not just look at it from a broader perspective and ask questions? What can I do better? What can I innovate to make this thing better? How can I develop new products from this chain? And that's what it means to embrace change, right? So for us as individuals, what are the strategies to manage change successfully? The first thing is that we have to stay proactive rather than reactive. Stay proactive, stay proactive, stay proactive, right? Get ready. Anticipate industry shifts and prepare accordingly. And that's the reality. Before now, there was nothing like AI, there was nothing like automation, there was nothing, but now the reality is upon us. And if we are not proactive and we are not ready for it, you will just become reactive and we'll be seeing those things as threats. So it's important for us as agile professionals to what? To stay proactive rather than reactive. The second thing I want to share with us is that maintain a solution-oriented mindset. Maintain a solution-oriented mindset. Always seek ways to contribute rather than resist transformation. For example, if you are in a forum, in a meeting, with a presentation where change is being initiated, don't look at the problems alone, but come up with solutions. Maintain a solution-oriented mindset. Let it be so obvious in your discussions, in your ideas, in your suggestions, that you are thinking about solutions that this change is bringing to your organization, right? Then the third thing I want to say under this before we go into the conclusion is that build resilience. Adaptability and a willingness to evolve will keep you ahead of disruptions, right? So you have to build resilience. Resilience doesn't mean challenges will not come, change will not come. You will not have reason to ask yourself questions about what is going on in your industry. But resilience has to do with, in the midst of everything that is happening, I can come back again. I can try again. I can innovate again. I can come up with solutions again. And you will see that on a broader view, your mind is open. You're not seeing challenges as a stumbling block, but you are seeing it as a stepping stone, as an opportunity to get better and be more innovative. All right. I will conclude by saying that if you don't evolve as an individual, if you don't adapt as an individual, it's possible you are replaced. Let me say that again. If you don't evolve, if you don't adapt, it is possible you are replaced. So as we stand in this position as agile professionals, we have to be ready to be open to the innovation that is happening around us. We have to be at a standpoint where we see the global shift as an opportunity, and we have to be sure that the future belongs to those who are adaptable, those who give themselves to continuous learning, and those who are open to change. The last thing I want to say is that you don't have to predict the future, just prepare for it. Thank you very much for this opportunity, and I hope you have gained some valuable points from this discourse. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, Peter. That was very awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Plenty nuggets. I was even writing down as you're speaking. I took down some very interesting things that resonated with me. If I read from my notes, one of them is the trap of knowing is enough.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sometimes people get involved in this trap. They think they know everything already at that point. The second one I took note was on the shelf life of your qualifications and education is just 5 years. After 5 years, it is irrelevant. And then the last one I took note is that don't be too emotionally attached to career, to jobs, to product, to services.
Yes.
Be open to change. Thank you.
Yes. You're
welcome,
sir.
Thank you so much.
Sir.
Can we send some thank you notes to him on the chat box for such a wonderful discussion? While that is happening, any questions or feedback, let's feel free to ask it. But I have one question while they are sharing their thoughts and questions along those lines. Let me just ask one question.
All right, sir.
My question is centered around mindset. Yes, mindset. What role do you think that mindset plays in being agile? All right. And how can one cultivate a growth mindset? All right.
All right, sir. Thank you very much for that great question. So let me say that the starting point and the ending point of any change, embracing learning, and continuously growing is the mindset.
Yeah.
And for example, a lot of people, when they look around and they see the sun, for example, somebody will say, oh, this sun is scorching. But for someone who is into solar products, that is money, right? So mindset is about everything. Is your perspective, the way you see things. If you see a profession or your job that you're doing as something that will help you to fulfill purpose, for example, then you open your heart to what can I do to get better? What opportunities can I leverage upon to add value to myself? What skill do I need to gain? I mentioned to us that I've been a recruitment manager, and when I see some people when they send in their CVs and maybe I interact with them, I see a gap, and I ask questions. What have you been doing to keep yourself together within the space of time? How do you keep up with the industry trend? Right? And those are the things that will show from your mindset. You just say, okay, I'm out of job now, and let me just sit down and fold my hands. You're not doing anything. That means you're not preparing yourself for the opportunities that are coming, right? So mindset is everything. If you have an open mindset, definitely you embrace and leverage all the opportunities around you. But your mind, once your mind is closed, you see that position that you are as a block or a stumbling block to your next level. I hope I've answered your question, sir.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And like Patrick and Rufus said, well said, well said. Thank you very much. It is truly the foundation of any change, right? Thank you so much. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yes, any other questions or feedback for Peter? Peter, one of the things that we also have in career, I mean, and this affects a lot of people, is, a lot of people don't like change. They like stability, every day, every month, and pay my salary at the end of the year, let's go on holiday and all those things. Let things continue the way they are. If the organization says every 2 years promotion or every 3 years promotion, please allow me to go through that process as the case is. How do you balance this need for stability and being able to adapt to the randomness of the world today? Because I don't think this security and the stability is still there in a lot of organizations. What do you think?
All right. Thank you. That was a profound question. And I'll give myself as an example, and with the experience I've had with people. One of the things that I do personally as an individual, I like to challenge people that work with me. Right? You cannot stay with me even if we have O level at the point of entry. I will always ask you questions. What's your plan? And I learned it from one of the persons I work with when right? And one day the vice principal called me into the office and was like, young boy, what is your plan? I was shocked. I said, I wanted to go to school, but I need to save money. And he told me, he said, I'm giving you 1 year in this school. Not that I will send you away, but I want you to be focused and look at your goal. I'm giving you 1 year. And sir, after 1 year, I left because I gained admission. Right? And that's the reality around us. People are just so complacent. They don't want to try new things. They don't want to explore better career options. And let me also say that sometimes it could be imposter syndrome. I'm not good enough. I don't have the capacity. I'm not sure. Like some people will tell me, they said there's no job out there. And I'm saying it to everybody here that there are jobs. So there are jobs. There are recruiters looking for people to place in jobs, but they can't find. So some people just think that, oh, there's no job out there. If I leave this one that is bringing me money now, how will I get a better one? This one that I've already understood the system. At least they are not delaying salary, this and that, right? So we need to just shake body. Let me use that word. Let me see. We need to shake. We need to shake body, and I believe that during the career goal session, we get more insight into how to position ourselves, set goals, and leverage on what we have at the moment, what we don't have, put ourselves at that advantage position and have the growth and success we want to have in our career. Thank you very much for that question.
Thank you. Awesome. Thank you very much, Peter. Thank you. Awesome. Awesome discussions. Thank you so much. All right. And this is what we've always said in P4PE Institutes, that you must be driven by learning. You must continue to expand yourself and develop yourself. We will listen again to Peter. Clearly, we'll call you again on another. I'm sure when we call you, you will oblige us once again.
Of course.
Thank
Of course.
You.
It's an honor. Thank you very much, sir.
All the best.
Yes, sir.
So interestingly, here at P4PE Institute, we encourage people to learn. And one of the powerful places where you can find useful information you can learn from is from books. It is said that the wisdom of the world is hidden in books. Whatever your career area, whatever area you are involved in, you must find books in those particular areas. So our service called the Let's Read is a special book summary that is offered on a daily basis throughout the entire year, so long as it is Monday to Friday, public holiday or no public holiday, there is a book for you to read. And we'll give you a summary of the book that you can read in 15 minutes or less. So what's on your bookshelf this month? What are you learning? In the next 1 week or thereabout, we will have entered the month of April. What's your plan to learn? In the month of April, we have some interesting books that you can read from. So if you're not reading, you are clearly falling behind, as the case is. So join this book club. In the month of April, there are books like The Prepared Leader, Stay Ahead in Times of Crisis, Thinking in Time, Make Smarter Decisions Like a Strategist, Trauma and Recovery, Understand Healing and Resilience, Winners Never Cheat, Business Ethics That Build Lasting Success. You might be a late boomer. It's never too late to try, exactly as Peter said. Right? We can always advance at that point in time. So imagine reading about 22 books every month. You can engage, it can help you to grow, it can help you to advance at that point in time. So this is a fantastic result and success that this particular book club brings to you. If you're interested in this particular book club and you would like to know more about it or get involved in it or participate or subscribe to it, I encourage you to either WhatsApp the number you find on your screen, or you can subscribe directly by hitting the link that I share in the chat box for you at this point in time. So you can use that to be able to access the Let's Read resources, as the case is. Another resource we do share periodically is a resource that helps you to ensure that you are able to advance yourself. So there are toolkits, there are ebooks, there are articles we share regularly, and this will help you to advance your career. So we're going to take some 3 minutes break at this point in time before we call on our next speaker. So please get up, stretch, grab a glass of water or a cup of coffee, whatever makes you feel awake and alive at this point in time, and we shall continue in 3 minutes time. Thank you.